Today I am celebrating Buckminster Fuller, a man who has inspired me and millions of others through the course of this last century. A man who was an inventor, an engineer, and a beautiful humanitarian. Someone who, like many of the influential figures that I've included in this genius tree, I say many, a certain number, he came to a point of committing suicide or being about to commit suicide, and really felt the pain of the world, and then reflected and thought, have I actually given life everything I possibly can? Have I really done my utmost to make what I can of this experience of being a human? And then chose not to commit suicide, or recovered from a failed attempt, I can't remember clearly, and then completely turned his life around. He was someone who, he was the man behind the geodesic dome. If you're not familiar with it, you would have seen pictures of one, maybe not realised what it was. It's the most incredible engineering structure that enables for the largest volume in a space, so it can have huge ceilings without any central masts. There's no supporting infrastructure. It's the outside of the dome that actually provides the support. It's such a brilliant feat of engineering that when they set up the base camps at the North and the South Poles, they used these geodesic domes to protect scientists and the things that they were working on from the elements. They later then found that the structure of the geodesic dome, the way all of these shapes tessellate, actually is found in the structure of various plants and organic structures. So he didn't invent, but he noticed something that has already been revealed in nature and used in that engineering kind of way. But he then applied himself using first principle thinking, like really just looking at things with fresh eyes and going, how can I do this better? And applied himself to all sorts of things. He invented the Dymaxion car, the Dymaxion map. The Dymaxion map is the most proportionally representative and accurate map that you can find. And he did it by using, instead of trying to plot, when people take a globe map and fit it onto a flat surface, it distorts the sizes of things. So Africa always looks way smaller than it really is. Well, he found a way to have really accurate representation of the land masses with the minimum amount of distortion by using a polyhedron as the basis for... Anyway, he managed to make this incredibly accurate map, and he loved to present it from a particular viewpoint where you see the Earth just as one landmass surrounded by sea. And if you haven't seen the Dymaxion map, it's worth just searching that up, because it does give you a perspective on the Earth that kind of takes you away from the standard way of viewing things. And it's, I saw it and thought, wow, how come I've never seen the Earth like that? It's crazy. It really undermines the idea of political and continental boundaries. It really just makes it look like one giant island that looks like it might have been spreading out a bit, surrounded by a load of sea. It plays with the mind just to see it. He had so many patents in his name, but I don't think he was someone who really believed a great deal in intellectual property, because he was a humanitarian first and foremost, and he never thought that population was an issue, that actually the issue was more getting politicians out of the way so that engineers could solve the problems that people were confronting. So he, for example, thought, how can I build a home that can be used in desperate situations and create cities really quickly? And so he developed a home based on the geodesic dome that fitted inside a suitcase. It was an aluminium geodesic dome that he was trying to think, what can we do with all these bombs that are left over? If we have a world of peace, what can we do constructively with bombs? So he developed this idea of being able to drop a bomb, explode a huge crater, and then drop one of these suitcases down into it so you could build a shelter over the crater, making a really large family home that can be constructed in less than a day. You know, he just, whether it came to the design of cities or the design of buildings, you know, he just did so much and spoke so beautifully and eloquently about all the things that he cared about. Yeah, his argument was that without politicians, the engineers would just usher in a very beautiful world. And he said that the biggest thing that we have to contend with, which is a subject that is close to my heart, is how to come to terms with the idea that not everybody has to work. We still seem to be flogging this mindset that if you don't have a job, you don't have a means of defining your life, you don't have a purpose, there's no way for you to serve. And of course that's just a preposterous idea. What we really need to do is get back to a state of playing and caring for each other and for the planet, and then we may be able to usher in the kind of beautiful world that his heart always told him was possible. So today I'm celebrating a very great man, Buckminster Fuller.